There's a place on earth that no country wants, not fought over. The opposite. It's a patch of desert about the size of a small country, sitting right on the border between Egypt and Sudan. And for more than 60 years, both nations have gone out of their way to not own it. No guards, no fence, no flag. In fact, you could walk in tomorrow, plant your own flag, declare yourself king, and technically, no government on earth could say you were wrong. People have actually done it. One father even traveled here to make his little girl a real princess. So, here's the strange question. Why would two countries argue over which of them does not have to take a piece of land? This is Bir Tawil, around 2,000 square kilometers of empty Sahara, wedged between Egypt to the north and Sudan to the south. Its name means the tall well, almost a joke, because there's barely any water here at all. No towns, no roads, no permanent residents, just sand, a few bare mountains, and silence. On any official map, you'll find it drawn as a neat little rectangle that simply belongs to no one. It is, to this day, the only place on the planet that people could actually live on, yet no recognized country claims. To understand how land ends up owned by absolutely nobody, you have to go back to two lines the British drew over 100 years ago. Back when Britain controlled both Egypt and Sudan, it needed a border between them. So in 1899, it drew one, a clean, straight line along the 22nd parallel. Simple. But the desert didn't care about straight lines. The people didn't match the map. Tribes tied to Sudan lived north of it, while others tied to Egypt, like the Ababda herders, grazed their animals to the south. So just 3 years later, in 1902, the British drew a second border, an administrative one that bent and curved to follow the people instead of the geometry. Now, there were two official lines, the straight one from 1899 and the crooked one from 1902. For a while it made no difference. The same empire ruled both sides. Until one day, it didn't. When Egypt and Sudan became independent, those two lines quietly turned into a trap. Because they don't only cut out Bir Tawil. Just to the east, the very same borders carve out a second territory, the Hala'ib Triangle. And Hala'ib is everything Bir Tawil is not. Nearly 10 times larger, sitting on the Red Sea coast with water, resources, and tens of thousands of people. Here's the catch that changed everything. The two borders swapped the two lands. The 1899 line gives Egypt the rich Hala'ib Triangle, but hands worthless Bir Tawil to Sudan. The 1902 line does the exact reverse. So to claim Bir Tawil, a country would first have to accept the border that gives away Hala'ib, and neither country will ever do that. So both reach for Hala'ib, and both deliberately let Bir Tawil go. It slipped through the crack between two maps and became something almost extinct today. Terra nullius, land belonging to no recognized state on earth. That ghostly status turned it into a magnet for dreamers, self-declared kings, and in 2014, a father from Virginia who planted a flag so his daughter could be a princess. But here's where the fairy tale falls apart. Bir Tawil was never truly empty. For centuries, the Ababda, a nomadic desert people, have crossed and grazed this land, and they consider it theirs, not some strangers from the internet. And today, after gold was found here, it has become genuinely dangerous. Mining camps, armed men, and fighters spilling over from Sudan's war. The flag planters flew home. The desert kept its own rules. And that is the real reason it's there. An empty rectangle on the map, existing not because it was forgotten, but because of what two countries were each willing to give up. Almost every border in history was drawn by grabbing, two sides reaching for the same ground. Bir Tawil is the rare opposite. It was drawn by refusing. It's proof that a border isn't only about the land you want. Sometimes it's the price of wanting something better right next door. The one blank space no country will fill isn't a mistake, and it isn't nothing. It's the shadow of a choice. That's why it's there. Every place hides a story like this, just beneath the surface. We'll keep digging them up, one map at a time.